What is going on, folks? Well, I figured I'd channel Eric Floberg for this video since I am doing a lot more running and try out a microphone for this video because my house in general is very echoey. It is Wednesday and I am 3 days into my training for the LA Marathon and the Surf City Marathon. So far this week, I have gotten in 3 runs, 1 swim, and 2 bike rides. Still keeping up with the swims and the rides. There was a comment on the last video about me switching over to just a run focus and abandoning triathlon in a sense, and that is not the case. I want to assure you, I'm going to continue to train for triathlon. I have Ironman 70.3 Oceanside, which I'm doing a relay in April. I'm going to ride the bike. And then in May, I'm going to Morro Bay for Ironman 70.3 Morro Bay. Those are the 2 triathlons I have scheduled so far for 2024, but there's a lot of year left, so undecided what else I might be able to fit in. I kicked off the first week with Monday being a rest day, which is typically how a lot of training programs work, where Monday following your long run on Sunday would be a rest day. So no running on Monday, but I did get in a swam for 3,100 yards, then spent the rest of the day recovering. I am doing a lot more body maintenance and trying to be very focused on that because I know as I increase my running volume, I'm gonna run into issues, and I'll get to that. I already am running into a little bit of issues, and I think that has to do a little bit with my lack of recovery coming off of La Quinta. Kicked off Tuesday with a fartlek run. It was 8 miles. Got a 2-mile warm-up, 8:30-ish pace. Then we've got 6 rounds of 800s at 6:38 to 6:50 with a quarter mile after each, nice and easy. Then a cool down of 1.5 miles. I really wanted to try and get this week's workouts done outdoors if I can, because I know I'll be doing a lot of running on the treadmill over the next 3 weeks. Now, as soon as I started, I knew I was going to be able to run down near 6:38, so tried to just keep it under 6:50. Ran the first one at 6:49, second one at 6:45, third one at 6:49, fourth one at 6:42. Then the last 2 is where I started to feel it. I was getting tired, my legs were not turning over, and I ran a 6:51 and then a 6:52. So those last 2 were 2 seconds over my target. Those were not as easy as I thought they would be. My legs feel flat, tired, and I don't usually run late in the day like this. So week 1, run 1, a little disappointed. Wednesday was another 8-miler, but nice and easy, and I knew that I was a little fatigued from the day before, and I'm starting to ramp up my mileage this week, so I decided to do that on the treadmill with the lever. Ran that nice and easy. Actually allows me to run a little faster at a lower heart rate, so overall that workout felt really good. Legs felt fine, so I figured coming into today that I would be all set to run a harder workout. It is Thursday morning. The sun is about to rise. I'm out here on the Brea tracks, which is where I'm going to get a lot of my runs in. It's fairly flat, a little bit of incline, decline here and there, but overall fairly flat. And this is where I'm going to be doing a lot of my half marathon pace work. This morning, I've got 8 miles, 3-mile warm up, nice and easy. Then I've got 3 miles at a 6:59 to 7:05 pace, then just a 2-mile warm down. I knew during the warm up I was in trouble because my adductors were super sore already. Just getting out of bed this morning, they felt sore. And as soon as I started, I was hurting. So during that portion of the run, I was kind of bouncing around between 7:36 and 8:12. Started off faster, and then as the miles went on, just got slower and slower. And by the time I got to my 2 miles of warm down, I was hurting. Well, that just sucked. My adductors, my hip flexors feel super weak. They tightened up, and I don't know what I ran. It was shit. I think I was probably like 8:30s for the 3 miles, and then the last 2 miles I ended up cutting short a mile because I was just so tight. It felt like I was forcing every single step, and walked back. Shake it off. So I was really frustrated at the end of that workout and came home, did some stretching, and tried to reset, just tried to realize that, hey, I am ramping up my mileage this week. I'm still coming off of 70.3 run where I really probably outrun my capabilities. So try not to get frustrated. Well, I am headed off for the holidays, spending Christmas in Vermont. So I figured I'd share a little bit of the running gear that I have purchased or that I have that I really like, that I am kicking off my training with. I always get asked what shoes I'm running in, and currently I have 3 shoes that I'm really enjoying. My number one go-to daily trainer right now is the Asics Super Blast. I am loving that shoe. When I came off of surgery, I decided to try that shoe out. It is kind of a super cushioned shoe, very soft. Feels really great on my foot, feels really great putting in lots of miles. I'm a heavier guy, so being around 180, having a little more cushion, I enjoy that as I am running lots and lots of miles. So that is my go-to daily trainer. The shoe I'm using for more speed workouts, tempo runs, things like that is the Nike Zoom Fly 5. I'm really enjoying that. I haven't run in Nikes outside of the Nike Alpha Fly, which I've been using for racing, and I wanted something that was similar to that had a similar feel, and it has a carbon plate, which I wasn't necessarily going for, but so far, so good. I've really enjoyed training in that leading up to La Quinta. And my race shoe, which I have used for the last year or so, is the Nike Alpha Fly 2. And I've really enjoyed running in that. I have 2 pairs. I have a hot pink and orange pair, and then a white and teal pair. Both of those I have used primarily for racing. I have done some track sessions, but I'm kind of saving those for races and using the Fly 5s for my track sessions. From the shoes, let's talk about socks. I have been using Saucony socks that I got on Amazon forever. They were kind of ankle, just over ankle height, and they've worked great, but they have started to fall apart. And recently I've gotten turned on to Features socks, and I love them. I have their trail running socks as well as their running socks. They're a little less cushioned, and I am loving them. I got a little higher ankle version because I like to use those for cycling as well, and got a bunch of different colors. They're super moisture wicking. I have really become a big fan of the Features socks. Now let's move up to shorts. I have always been a fan of the CJAYE running shorts. They're 5-inch APO shorts, I believe. But over the last few months, I have started to use some half tights. And I have said that that was a total game changer. I have always run in shorts with kind of a brief liner in it. And the half tights are amazing. They're pretty much close to running naked. And one of the reasons I got into using half tights was because I like to have my phone with me, but I don't want to carry it in a bottle or in a belt, and all of the half tights I am testing out have pockets down the side. Currently, I have some Lululemon half tights, I have the Bandit half tights, and I have the CJAYE half tights. I bought one of each pair. Later on, I'll do a review of each one and which one I like best and the different features, but all 3 of them are great. The materials are really nice on all of them. So far, I don't even know if I could pick one yet at the moment as to which one might be my favorite. Maybe the Bandit. I'm thinking I'm liking those the best only from the material standpoint. The rest of them, the Lululemon and the CJAYE, are great. I also made a couple of purchases on Black Friday. One, I got the CJAYE Trail tights. I also got some Gymshark tights, which I have yet to run in either set of tights. I'm taking those to Vermont with me, so I'm looking forward to testing those out running in the cold. They each have pockets on them, so it's great, again, for my phone. So I'll let you know what I think of those once I get to Vermont. The tights from CJAYE are called the M's Trail Tight. I also picked up a set of gloves from CJAYE. They are great because they are 5-finger gloves, but they also have a mitten wind protector, which comes over the fingers and then can be pulled off and tucked underneath the edge of the glove. And I am really looking forward to testing those out in Vermont. The gloves are called the Vortex Wind, and I got a light windbreaker style running jacket, which I didn't have. That is called the M Zeif Runner Wind Shell, and that fits great. It's got a little strap on the back to pull the hood tight, and the material is super soft. It's got a few different pockets, got one up on the chest, and it can be cinched around the waist. It's got some reflectors on it. The key I know from skiing is layering. So my goal will be to layer quite a bit there and then be able to pull things off as I start to heat up. Well, that is it for now. I'll do a little bit more of an update once I get into Vermont. We are headed to the airport shortly, so I've got to get all the luggage outside and ready for pickup.
About the colors lighting up your eyes, take me home, take me to the sky. I got a good feeling. Tell me the only thing you are is mine now. I got a good feeling. I got a good feeling. Good feeling. I got a good feeling. I got a good feeling. Good feeling. You wanna do is move with me.
We have made it to Vermont. Overall, travel went really well. No delays, 3 flights from LA to Cincinnati, 45-minute layover, Cincinnati to LaGuardia, 45-minute layover, and LaGuardia to Burlington, Vermont. Got in here around 10 a.m. in time to get back to the house. I worked all day long, West Coast hours. Now it is 8 p.m. We are gathering all of the ski gear up because tomorrow we are hitting the slopes.
About the colors lighting up your eyes, take me home, take me to the sky. I got a good feeling. Tell me the only thing you are is
Look at that.
I got a good feeling. I got a good feeling. Good feeling.
All right, well, I'm headed out for my first run out here in Vermont. It is not that cold today, which is good, so I may be overdressed, but still acclimating from California. Got on multiple layers, got some running tights on, got the gloves on. My hands are always cold. And the road out here is kind of a dirt gravel road out in front of my father-in-law's house. Is 1 mile long from one of the main paved roads to another main paved road. This weekend, I've got a 6 mile and a 10 mile. We are headed skiing this morning, but probably not until 9-10 o'clock. So I'm gonna try and knock out my 10 miler today because I know it's gonna be an easier ski day, just getting the kids back on the slopes. Because this road is primarily uphill on the way back, instead of doing mile 9 and 10 at a half marathon pace, I'm gonna pick it up and do 7 and 9 on the downhill grade a little bit faster, and then 8 and 10 uphill a little slower. Well, I'm in the final mile, number 9. The sun is starting to pop over the mountains. So beautiful. As long as the weather stays like this, I can probably do a lot of my runs outdoor right on this dirt road. Do get more snow, and it gets a little colder and icy, then I might have to hit the treadmill. A little bit chilly, not too bad. 10 miles, 9:21 pace, hour, 33 minutes, 33 seconds. Well, now I'm gonna run in, clean up a little bit, get some breakfast, some coffee, and we're headed up to Stowe Mountain to ski. Yo.
What's happening?
Where are we going?
What are we thinking, dude? Yeah, I mean, seriously, how did that happen?
It is Sunday morning, about 5:50 in the morning, and I am about to go out for a 6-mile run. Nice and easy run today. And then after that, we have another big day of skiing. We're gonna do a little tailgating action, some barbecuing. It is much windier today. Really gusty. Luckily, the wind is kind of blowing across the road, so it's not coming at me in either direction.
Bring the band in. Woo. Well, all right. Yeah, they want me to fit in, but I can't. I'm too different with it. Too advanced to think. You know my intuition. I got bars and ink, but never in a prison. Too far gone, never gonna sit and listen. This is optimism mixed with the best. You get it? What you're seeing is a beast in the flesh. I'm vetted. I don't need to try to speak for the rest. Always keep it.
All right, well, that was 6 miles. Nice and easy. Wind definitely made it more challenging. You can see it's not quite cold enough to freeze the pond yet. Hopefully the temperature will drop enough before we leave so that will freeze and we can go ice skating on it. You can probably hear how bad the wind is on the camera. And now I will head in, see what the family's doing. I was getting some text messages that they wanted to leave earlier, like right now, to try and get first tracks, but I think when I told them to check how windy it was, they're deciding not to go.
Running wild, nothing to lose. Do you remember the innocence of youth? Butterflies in summer skin, lightning exploding through. Roller coasters in your veins. Do you remember the never-ending days? Every crush you ever had burned in your DNA. With a sparkle in your eye, forever young. Every moment, this is life, take it as it comes. Jump up and reach for the stars, having no regrets, forever and ever, always young.
Well, we are back from skiing, had a great time, did a little after party tailgating in the parking lot. It was a little windy, so it was a little bit chilly for my blood, but the kids had a great time, had some hot dogs, had some hamburgers. Now we're back here just kind of cleaning up, getting ready for next week. It is raining now, it's going to rain tonight, all day tomorrow, so most of the snow down here in Colchester will probably be gone, and then rain into Tuesday. So my plan tomorrow is to head down to the local gym, get a membership so that I can get my runs, some weightlifting, and they have a pool. Feeling really good. My hip flexors and my adductors were a little tight earlier in the week, but I'm doing a lot of stretching, rolling, and that seems to be helping. I'm really going to have to pay a lot of attention to body maintenance and recovery. Next week, I'm upping the mileage 6 miles. I'll be up to 46 miles and just kind of keep inching it up as we go, get as many runs in as I can while I'm here. It'll also be the week before Christmas, so there's gonna be lots of prep going on, getting get all the gifts wrapped, things like that, last minute little things we might pick up locally for the girls. We do a lot of our shopping online and have it shipped here, and then we try and do some little local gifts once we get here. here. I had a couple last things I wanted to mention before I let you go for the week. One was my watch. I get asked all the time about what watch I am currently using. I used to use the Coros Vertex, but recently I made the switch over to the new Garmin Forerunner 965. When that watch came out, and the display is beautiful. It is so bright, so easy to see. In my old age, it was getting a little hard to see the Vertex display. This display that they are using here is so bright, so clear, so I love it. 31 hours of battery life, and it's extremely light. I love the way the band fits all around. Just, I'm very happy with this watch. And the final thing is, I am setting a goal for 2024. I will read 1 book per quarter. I don't do a lot of reading. I read articles online, I watch a lot of videos, but I don't read physical books anymore. I've never really been a big reader, but I've always wanted to be. So I am setting the goal. I'm not gonna set it too big. If I set the goal for 1 book per quarter, that's fairly achievable. And I actually bought my first book to bring on this trip. It's called A Race Like No Other, and it's all about the New York Marathon. So I figured it'd be a great way to kick off the year, reading a book about one of the biggest marathons in the world. I've actually broken into it already, so I'm getting a head start on my book for the first quarter of 2024. That's it for this video. Thank you guys all for the comments and the thumbs up on the last video, kicking off my marathon training. I am really excited to bring you along on this journey, and I'm excited to be here in Vermont. It's cold, just presents new challenges, right? With all the family dynamics, getting up to go skiing and trying to work in my runs and all of those things. I'm a creature of habit. I love routine. I love being at home. I love getting up and doing my routine every single day. So whenever we come here for 3 weeks, it really forces me to be patient, forces me to be adaptable. It's always good to get out of your element. I love coming here, I love skiing, and it's great to see everyone. So I hope your training is going well, and I will talk to you next week.